Hello everyone. Um, this is a small tutorial about how to use Inspector Toolsuite to analyze Spectra files. Um, my name is Perez. I'm part of the PRI team at the EBI. When you download and install Inspector, you basically have four main options, and we'll add a couple of other tutorials to explain some of them. But the main most important one is the when you open identification on page files, and the user can click here and and basically looks for some spectra file. And for example, in this case, I would like to see an MGS file. Um, the big files after the processing with ProteoWiz or other softwares. Um, and then when you find the MGS file, you can say, let's say, open. Big files are most of the big files can be classified in two main groups: the ones that are text delimited files, and in this case we have MGF, PKL, DTA, and APL. APL is also supported here in Inspector Toolsuite, and the other main group is the XML based files, and in this case we have MC XML, MC data, and MCML, which is actually the PSI standard for represented the big list. And basically the information we can and the analysis we can do with Inspector Toolsuite is very simple, quick to and intuitive to use. And for example, we have, if you go to the Inspector, if it's an text files, we don't provide metadata because those files doesn't have any metadata associated. And then you will see, for example, the Spectrum browser. You can here in this table look for all the spectra in the file. You can even load all the spectra with this option, load all. In the table, basically, is very easy to understand. Is the spectrum ID, the MS level, because we don't have any identification file associated with this big file. All the spectra are not identified, and that's why they are false. The precursor chart, precursor MZ value, the precursor intensity, if it must be annotated in the PIC file, the precursor intensity. If not, then the software do not provide this information. And the number of peaks by spectra. And then you can move here and you can basically sort also. Let's say I want to sort by peak, the number of peaks, and then click here and see how many peaks this file has. And the Spectrum browser also provides some other functionalities here to export and see the information inside the file. And the other option is to the summary charts, and then you can click the summary chart and see very quickly the information in this file, and it's a kind of summary of the statistic in this file. Especially we can provide like a peak distribution, how many peaks by spectra the file contain. Also the precursor ion distribution, we also have how many peaks per MS spectra as an average are in the file, and the precursor ion charge distribution. These are quite nice, and all of them depend if the information is provided. Let's say at the end you get this kind of information are chart. The charts that are empty is because the information is not provided. But in this case, for example, we have let's say take this example, which is the number of peak per MS spectra. Then you expect that most, I mean, as an average or a higher number of peaks per per MS spectra would be better for identification or quantitation. Then if you can basically open, let's say, another run and see in between runs the difference very quick about how many peaks by spectra do you obtain. And you can also basically see the distribution of ion precursor masses. But there is a really interesting feature, which is basically you can also see, for example, for bright data, uh, what is the distribution of precursor ion masses of the identified peptides. And then, for example, you can see human, and for example, you can see for human, if you are working with human, this is the distribution of precursor ion masses, and in blue you will see the distribution of your file, and then you can have an idea about how well is your data, or how good is your data. The other things, for example, is the number of the intensity peaks distribution, and you will see here very quick, as an average, what is the intensity for your peaks, and so on. This is very simple for an MGS file, but then if you are interested, let's say, to see your MCML, which is a XML based file, you can click open, and here you will see different files. You can switch between them. Prime Spector take a while to read sometimes the spectra files, especially the MCXML, because there is a lot of information that needs to be load and put it in, let's say, in memory. In this case, because MCML also contain and provide metadata, we have some kind of metadata if it's present, and then you can go to the instrument and see, for example, which kind of instrument do we have, which software generate this MCML, and in this case was a Protein Discover. Well, it's the same. You will see here, for example, the precursor charges, the precursor intensity. In the previous file, the precursor charge was not, the precursor intensity was not annotated, but in this case is well annotated. And you also can see the chromatogram, which is actually one important thing to have the information in MCML, because MCML is the only file that can provide both spectrum and MC annotated data. This is basically what I want to show, and please take a look and see how perform for you. Most of the statistics related, for example, if we want to generate the charts for this MCML file, all the charts take a while to be generated, because they need to go through all the spectra information, get this information, and compute the statistic. One important thing is here in the bottom of the application, you will see you can click here and see all the notifications, and if the software runs, let's say, in troubles, or you have kind of error because all the information is not provided, then you can basically see the error there. For example, for an average MS, I didn't talk in details about this, because for an average MS, this is basically how the distribution of all the spectra in the MCML file, and that basically everything. And then you can check other videos for other file formats and other options in Prime Spector Toolsuite. Thank you.